Onyame adom me ho ye pa
bibi aboko
Onyame egusu hyayen oman ni mu ena ye den enyema enkuye bibia agensem ewo oman ni mu TV do se yetimkom ye wa hoden mujedi mu afuru sane de eno no ye de aseda manyame enso eba nipa fam de wose empanyifo ye na brabo no emutimi ye mmerema ye kakra na eno ne de adani asem kese pa eno ka ho titiru entina ochina eye ebenada 3rd October 2023 eye nyamene pa NDC amanyuko don kuma ewo mrahye bedwam yenuanom a ewo GCPP
okay
yenuanom a ewo CPP CPP mate General Secretary nka ye mame
Nana ya
Jantua mate yenua o ye General Secretary for GCPP so okay mate APC the leader and founder, right? Yes, okay. Hassan Ayarega say obeba demonstration ni bi ye General Secretary for APC Mordecai Inua Kojugo General Secretary for GUM omunyina sa amanyoku e wogana nyina ene NDC amanyoku ene don kuma e wo mrahye bedwam ena akabo mu yes a wo ye kire ya to ni di Bank of Ghana PNC National Women Organizer yes
but the political party
no okay nti ye wo yenua ba Hidayah Ibrahim
okay.
or your National Women Organizer for PNC
okay
ye wo yenua Ishak Awudu very intelligent guy and also your communications secretary for the PNC
okay
and ye wo Yura Bernard Mona former national chairman of the PNC and a PNC mpenyu for be bromo ka ho on the CSO front no so no ye wo Arise Ghana
okay
Rexoma ye convener onini nua bobi ansanom listo no munyina boye chidomo a ye ne omo na yesa wo ye kire demonstration Arise Ghana dim watinti ban ye pa na ye bom abaso e wadwuma so a omo aye e de amagana aside that no yes also wo other CSOs to say Asepa Yunia Mesa Thompson Dano Coupe Ghana so petrol unse Yunia Dankana so Ghana nyina CSOs nyina political parties your opposition and of course the masses of this country will be to said your kind as part of the awareness creation campaign yako so far 12 constituencies
12
yeah
within Greater Accra
oh yes yako odododio yako Dedimiensa yako Besi yako Shia Fishmongers and Fishermen Association of Sa area Jamestown for your new makudi gitaho yene yenu anome wabo blushi enra enu mushia
okay
nti odododio constituency ya 3 engagements na wo okwa shama na ya about 4 engagements wo oko ayawaso East Nima ya yenhyimu ba ko ho ayawaso Central Ablekuma Central Koliklote a lot of constituencies and you bring Nyamenepa Yebekwa Ablekuma South already Yedika Choco Tea Gardens
okay
and Yekwa Ablekuma South another area na Yasanswa Kruo so okay. we there are at least 34 constituencies in the Greater Accra region and our objective is send a beya or mount for betty the intia ye yechre yase ni the intia was say or yechre no mo baby ebe kan ye ho ma ye tinte su kokko cha ban inti no ye be ko won na so na yetimi akokyerekere nsem ni mu e de akere wo and so far so good the enthusiasm is great message nsem ti aye koyo yechre akofom ye na omanfo so aso no mamma ye awhemu se omamma ye assurance se omobeba and until I am very confident say Ghanaians should brace themselves for the mother of all demonstrations tomorrow.
This was supposed to be, and I recall, say, many minority leader Eddie in Como studio, or can't see studio say the minority wants to go and picket our Bank of Ghana. That's how it all started. And sitting here, no, the name said the minority wants to go and picket our Bank of Ghana. as part of demands, and they say the governor and the 2 deputies should resign. Later on, say board because governor and deputy members of the board board for Majuma enter. Are we seeing something different? Is there another demonstration?
Yeah, it's assessor. Because they said if it is don't come 137 members of parliament representing their constituents, and almost in fact, the announcement was made during a press conference, one of our moment of press conferences at the NDC headquarters. I started saying a police for aiding kita about demonstration. Sans obi unim se mremu no se wokwa akoye oyechira e wo se obo a police for amane na omobebo ban na so omo wo demonstration ho asem ka efa ekwan a omobefa so bebi amoye no a omo so etimi di omadwen aba ho antiase anya adwuma na akwa kopim wo court decide.
Yes.
Enti emse yene a police for san kita hodie no yenya kwansidie bebre na menteme ho ase bebre enti ma postpone demonstration on 2 different occasions. Yene a police for no twe dare na ye postpone demonstration ni nyina no na excite
amanfo
national interest. Afina de na GNSM, it is no longer a minority thing. Akwa Ghana because we are in fact we're writing letters. Meaning transport organization be a registered limited liability company. They wrote a letter said demonstration here
okay.
We're not independent candidates. We're not political party. We have for we're not CS we are na constituencies in friend na mama demonstration here could be you be here basis na money and mekasa. So gradually you listen na momentum in this corner. Na kwa yese Ghana for be edi yaw. Ghana for be a penny, but omunya akwenya no that opportunity that platform invent it and sorry nyina say when nko ya ban sesa nyema and people saw that as an opportunity and he said there about a national movement, everybody is involved and they say ya enua o man no kwamna sante so be baby
yes
you no demonstration that you na see a ebe because ahokyere na ye nyina ye wo mu no o man na ese na fa ye nyina ye ho. I'll be happy to see you Philip Osebonsu. I'll be happy to see that mini media for bebre almost wa kase o beba. I don't have their permission to put their names out for now, but we're expecting farmers, we're expecting journalists, we're expecting especially young people. And then ebi ewie scrutify omunya adwumanye ebi pensa no dwuma keka boafo hen omuni boafo bia obi dwetre kakra bi na opede didwa oni boafo bia ena yebekɔ dwom ade achi ade esen na nyema bo kwa na ekosoro communicate say you same boat enti wo ton ayento ofiri ayentua wo do sa show boto mu ensihwe so as we've been going around the constituencies obi wo do be areho obi timi hu na the whole day we need here aduane obedi kra den aduane obedi kra na den
in the way you get to snibi amoko ye no.
Yes, we are ghetto group be omo Koliklote Usu a former Zion. Lion group. Yes, also call another group where from Spanish. Omunyina baby. No agboblushi, so we met a lot of young guys. Yes. And some of these guys are very educated. They be maybe JSS, maybe SS. Sika wa debe tuaso ayasem until they've dropped out of school. Ebi omo apply for police because the protocol be any until omunya bi. Ebi omo good ideas but mo pem waka krebi emwani ni ho. But sika nke ebetumi dia yo man yie no. Omaya ye wo gold, omaya ye wo bauxite, omaya ye wo diamond, omaya ye wo oil. Omaya ya baya otia akonwa so yi sisi eyo mampenye Akufo-Addo eni Bawumia MPP aben. Omanya sika chen abaya abaga na abakosemu nyina put together. Na yen to me address these issues. Na empenyinfo no essay o man nisika. Require ye fa so di o man nisika. Oyem kra be hyehyew. Jeche say wo beti ni so amagana.
But
that is why this is
to me address issue. Is it omo address by pace na you slower?
That's And you say they are not even addressing it. Omudi omaina wu. Che say sikana e was say ye chenin kakran na so biaso through development, through the creation of opportunities.
Yes.
Nipa kakra bi na akwadodi omunsem. E no mo ni omabusu omo yire ni omo ma edaso. And these are the same people omo be petu mo so Ghana ya mobododo na yeti sika so. That's where come there. And this kind of money is omo de omo adaso omo de omo fu eni omo tini omo na nyina omo adasika no so. And that is what is happening. Oh, Obi Beka said now the eco demonstration. Obi.
So it is to get the Bank of Ghana governor.
It's not just about the Bank of Ghana. You see, Yanti Bibiase, and yes, a demonstration back on yes, you. In fact, a series of demonstration. Exactly. Because enyema eha o my way no be say yanka ye one mum. Na yan so de anyina. I'm telling you, by 2025 there will not be any Ghana. O my way be boni donkumi. Where baby enyema ekono. It is no longer me NDC ni ana me MPP ni ana me CPP. It's about Ghana. Ya reya ya mo frank tinketo no mo ba no omunya da chepe bia. Hwe Bank of Ghana the any there. It is just Ubeka said it is a quintessential case. And then send your mind say Bank of Ghana. It is representative of that societal decay we are witnessing in Ghana. O mina apratitia say ye no mo mine moja num empenyimfo kakra bi no mo mine moja no Bank of Ghana na wo. Enu tin ye sate free ho no. The governor, the deputy, and then the board, the main masterminds of Sa Chronocasian Woody no Mudia Minor. Specifically Omampinye Akufo-Addo. But especially the economic management team, Dr. Bawumia and Bog. Because economic management team no, triangle be. And economic policy planning committee. A subcommittee of economic management team. Bawumia and that committee ni nyina no. But a small committee of economic planning. Made up of Bawumia as the chairman of the economic management team. Made up of Dr. Ernest Addison, governor of the bank, central bank, and then the finance minister Ken Oforiatta. Sankrofo mi saying, "Eno mama ya kosa ho chiri ya ye womu a obia eje ne ho a wontumi je." Mama chi
e wo kwan ben so.
Die ne ma o ma bi mu ye den. Eye mpomponso a enyema bo esitie. Kwan ya enyema bo fa so sikoso. Enyema bo de eye den ya once ade chi ade sen enyema bo be koso. We've never, I don't recall the last time I recorded deflation in Ghana. You always have inflation in Nyema Bo Bekosro. But I am pomponso and Nyema Bo Nebekosro no any here.
Asempa FM.
If last year ebisine pomponso and Nyema Bo Faso Kosro no. Akosrama the highest in the last 4 decades. Chese me I'm in my 30s. Me 40 years. So be me sure say you are in your 30s.
Yes.
Chese ya wo ye no. Baby ene nye kwaya nyema bo fa so sikosoro no ye we abrabom ye hu bisada. Can you believe it?
But I don't know why it's an outlier.
Yes, outlier. Last year inflation cost could do 54%.
Sure.
This year still we are still doing more than 40% inflation. And ya outlier ye mpenyimfo ya mebo mudi owura Bawumia and as Addison in the central bank for any kedu furiata na ayesa. Simple obi. Dear the man yema bo to mikasa many the inflation kosoro na kofa ho kireba. Simple. Ade ba ko de ba ne se sika dodo e wo man ni mu no e do so chain enyema ye ton enyema ye no man ni mu a enam se sika no adoso a chain enyema ni ti no demand be kosoro. Na sa demand no e the inflation ba. And you have demand push inflation. When you have excess money in the system. Now excess money when you say sika broso wo system ni mu a e wo ye bottom o e wo nipa kakra bi bottom and say in 2021 and 2022 nko Bank of Ghana for etwa sika ma aban we to the tune of 77 billion Ghana cedis, which appendix 4B of 2022 media budget review they make a so Bank of Ghana crowd o magiatum 2022 the omu try 45 billion o magiatum na sa sika na o print ma ban no eno na ama money supply in the system akoso exponentially akwa sa hyperinflation aba and that is why o raise monetary policy rate no you got monetary policy rate banks e wo Ghana no omu nyina omu bank and the Bank of Ghana. And it's almost almost pesika, almost about besia or Bank of Ghana for. No more about besia or Bank of Ghana for who are. And see who a Bank of Ghana give free bank in the honor. And then as I said, do 30%. It is a bank a besia from the Bank of Ghana at 30% in Sihua per annum. Bank and a Bob Besia Obejo 32, 33 because I was so young for so. Or increase any time you see the central bank increasing monetary policy rate. It is one of the ways. Omunim say ya mesika do so in the system intino ye they reduce money supply in the system. That is it. But why will you print that amount of money for the government in only 2 years?
But the BIG has explained why they did that. Is this an explanation then to assume? And are you expecting them to tell you what you want to hear?
Obi ba we no be react ade na wo chena. Obit me akaso my explanation the jam be bokro no.
No, we are there. What happened?
Natural there. Crime is crime. There cannot be any justification or explanation for crime. Wako kejetia wako wia obi board there. Wako wia obi pa no. Ya chewa. Ozi na ekom de me ma minti na me wia board there no. Eni ti ebeja wana. Obi ebeja. Usuamra. Yao. The Bank of Ghana Act is clear. Ghana ye wombra. Ozi Ghana so mine. Ye bank as of my and the Bank of Ghana. They said yeah, nipa bia wuti me wo bank no. Ghana as of my ye nyina ye bank the Bank of Ghana. It is a yeso ye kwa wuchire mu a yetimi kwa ye bank also my ye besia.
Yes.
The friend temporary advances, overdraft and the keka ho. Yetimi koji be free Bank of Ghana for. But enam say sa sikana ye kwa koje free Bank of Ghana for no. Ye jebro a certain limit so a ebetumi di o hawo ne anwochira benti no. And a parliament, ye nam si for one she be my yamra. Some pay bet me akwa huchemu. By a Bank of Ghana for so moment so you no mwaye. No mine am before moi. Inisia bro limit be so. President Akufo-Addo Bank of Ghana Act and 2002. Na ma ho kwan say ye Bank of Ghana for say ye wa huchemu mo ma ye besia. Sika o de be maye no. Inisia bro 10% of sika or my Ghana ye nyina afie twemu. For example, say 2023 muni yewo. And ye Bank of Ghana was say omoma ye besia as of mine because ya kwa hochiri mu a. E was a bank and they say your balance sheet is saying 2022 afini twemu no sika ye nyina total revenue e saying. Ye keka nyina bo mu o mine ni nya 50 billion. Enti ye ma Ghana buy overdraft eni say bro 10%,
yes,
which is 5 billion.
Yes.
So yes. Because a bro so excess money no e de ahochere beba afo be hu say because sika no e ya de sika betumi aye ni hia so ukite sika na wintimi ntohwe amfa so be na wo so utimi ko Zimbabwe ye bebo sika kakraka bidin enso de kodwe mu wintimi ntohwe sana na eto ye wo Ghana na sama na ye di adwuma edu President Mahama so no President Mahama say ampa mra na ma me ho kwan say mitumi eko Bank of Ghana eko gibesia Bank of Ghana so my buy sika is called printing money. So mom printing sika money. But 10% them na me kwan dey but as of my yes ade we ache. Na ye bia so a inflation ba. Inflation ba o hie ni mo bro wan na bre because the sika na kita na ne obetu be the 100 cedis akodwo mu tibi ntɔhwe. Sempa FM. Unti bi kwa ni bia won ne wo ye de betimi no ma. Na say join news for here analysis be on sika we here to cook jollof for your household. Jollof kwa won't be near. Opesa woka banku kura be yode because then bro back kese na na to no 170 Ghana 2016 and then 10 million.
I say here bro back now the back count.
Oh debi ebi mu koto ye to bro ne de agunsuom. Omo no banku abonten no. Omo koto mole o. Omo an to bro ne de ye. It is a bro bag boy free 170 1000. Na first no kocho ba na banku no
170
cedis 2000 Ghana cedis
10 million.
Can you believe it?
Are you sure about that?
Obi baby 1002 Accra baby 1001 na okocho ba na bankuno first what 20 Ghana na me say so beto 50 Ghana enso dokono na mahama wo ne to no 1 cedi and then the same dokono no 5 cedis say chromatize no so can you imagine obi catch them say kenke na Akufo-Addo gina platforms so kitam no e be do 5 cedis under him akaminyini dokono ba ko 5 Ghana basic things insure sachet water bag back no men ka bottle water mpo and then the person the whiskey with the bottle sachet bag back na 1 cedi 50 pesos and then 10 Ghana uche uko check here more prices Gino Lily.
But after 7 years, we were not expecting prices to remain the same.
Not to this 1,000%, 500%, 600%. Say at the end of work, also 100% to crack here. Befanisa. We are broadly making. We have a 400% increment. It's too much. And then Ghana they say, "Oh my no, Ghana is Sudan and is Syria." They say the whole West African people, Maya. Inflation goes through. The last time I checked, we are number 3. So, enti sasika no mo printing ni bebre ni na manabasa na me ka bibi. Edu president Mahama so na president Mahama say, ye wonyeme nyina ho kwan. Na so nyeme nyina na se fata ye. Enchiri ma ne Ghana fonti emra na mesesa no. Even though me wo ho kwan say me get 10%, I am changing the law to reduce the limit to 5% of the total revenue of the previous fiscal year. To your mama breast ye Bank of Ghana Amendment Act 2016 and you say Ghana COVID bow Russia Ukraine war bow ejato Ghana ni aduani nyina kwa hihio ye kwa ahokyere mu sen na ye kwa Bank of Ghana for so one printing sikamaya eni say borrow 5% of the total revenue of the previous year.
But the act gave emergency situations and what can be done? And
I act and say ato ye NBC na ye pese ye borrow 5% to this one. Bank of Ghana for governor no on trail let nkobo finance minister mania na finance minister nkobo mrashe be for mania
yes
na Bank of Ghana governor no ne finance minister any controller and accountant general omunko ye meeting no mon set new limit say ye can say e be 5% but say mo ma ye kwa ye 20% na parliament enyentu
parliament na mo nyentu
obi ye ti kromo 2021 Minister of Finance one parliament yasa anko ka bibi say antro say we have even attained the limit because you are not allowed to even exceed the limit we not attain 5% na asemo aba and untina ye mran ye this checks and balances we nyina heden agu akwam because we know the risk of printing excess money in the country. In 2021 senior wa hochiremu na Bank of Ghana wo so pese obo abaya emra da ho follow mra no.
The Bank of Ghana in their statement says they did that from the finance minister.
And the finance minister about parliament amania. Now finance minister more parliament amania. What authority was all the good treasury scan? 2020, the total revenue in 55 billion. And in the 2021, now more percent more 5% of 55 billion. Obi, about 3.6 billion cities. And so we pay 35 billion. O man try 10 billion, o man try 15 billion, o man try 20. Sika no we try and borrow so over 1,000%. 1,000% of what the law allows. And we try. How can you violate emra yaye with impunity like that? Young Casentino 2022. And almost also try 45 billion. And also say 2021 total revenue is 76 billion. And it 5% no kabroswa and kabe 7 billion 45 billion. Look at how they exceeded it. And yes, be I'm running 7 billion no muko 10 billion kayen kasampu. Look at the recklessness, the impunity. Obi and no twa broso. Now wo Bank of Ghana wo NSRDC wo betina so. Wajina NSRDC. Yeah, Dr. NSRDC. Wajina sa the same Bank of Ghana act here and no na modi adwuma yisu. Say microfinance, savings and loans, any financial institutions, the banks, a BAT as Amra so. Obi omo 426. Read my lips. 426. Wo go inuma yoko ni nyina. Pa kwesi ndium ka ho yeguno. UT Bank ka ho yeguno. Papa de Beach yeguno. Heritage Bank yeguno. Unibank na my ready for besia yeguno. Bakwi de na wota builder so. Capital. Oman for when you grant to a Juma, Mensa Utabel, also for Penny, maybe will be a Michiano or Yamawo, Waguno. You go send you money now for violating the Bank of Ghana Act. Then you, the referee, now will be a Juma. Amen. Now, one of your bank managers, a big tax, a be a trotro meat. Maybe a family manager, a trotro meat. Nancy on your TV for your people assembly. But could be cut now, Cassas. Ebi mu kwade atifie na so wanya trotro na wotwia na wo ye mate kwade abefa sa ebi atre fie 5 years 6 years 7 years ebi afa wanya stroke awu because omo a ye gugu nwuma ne sa ye yiyi omadi no omo kwanje sika e friend severance package be si na ye ntua ma wo mo. How can you do that to your fellow human beings? Now why you say we now why trouble ho masa God will never forgive Ernest Addison. What sika bebrebe we am aban no say sika no obi say oh na efa me ho ben enu ntina okodwo mu anyama bo aye den no enu ntina from anwa to emo ene sanitary pad na nka na ye to ne be 5 Ghana cedis ene be 25 Ghana even sanitary pad garo lo kana 5 Ghana cedis ene nam 20 Ghana cedis common gari boys di be di gobe. Sort of point I mention I say. Oko check mo the na ebia ye ton be 40 Ghana no be kwa koton 170 180 5 kilos. Times are tough all because of the recklessness of the central bank. Because Bawumia ka say twesika no. And then Dr. Nessa they say we na say unia emna na me dey adwuma. We ye twa dey asembeba. But then Bawumia na be ka chense untwese. So no na chairman of the economic management team. The economic management team doesn't order the Bank of Ghana to print money. He's a member. Adese oko economic management team we akwa wo but Bawumia na chairman. Yeah, that is why but the EMT committee omoko cabinet omo yakola cabinet is the decision making body of government. Na cabinet na no why cabinet no and ne bando na no cabinet is headed by the president. Na president no ono wa mo obi ati asese e basika semo ono omo number. Okoye economics akoyi. Okay, anso omo number. Oh, na so no ankasa o pre to me o ka say President Akufo and atete akora bi wo Bank of Ghana. I have friend Dr. Bawumia. Na read the nomination yes sika se no nyina sa papa no Dr. Bawumia on ye. And into wakofa na ba sa o meboa no. Into mampenya Akufo-Addo de waje ne sento na ye de atum e basika se mo a omo number. It alaji Bawumia na yakofa ba no anything finance anything economy ne na so ni si. Chairman of the economic management team. Na nya ono ne fa omo class list obegina obo Alan Kojo chairman team. Ba ko friend say honorable Akoto Afie, God may God bless his soul. Yao Osafomafo me pe ba ko Professor Jamba for Boria say what a solid team. It's a class prefect no Obodino. So these are the people who make sika. Ba obiti en you. Number 1 sika no make abroso no a crime. Number 2, Sikano Mekabroso because it breaches Section 30 of the Bank of Ghana Act. Okay. Number 2, Sikano Mekabroso no media deal because I know na inflation yakosra enyema buoko mirika honchira basa. And number 3, Sikano Mekwa ya no sonobi enye so mode ye yakwan ne mai. Nka moto we ya ene support ho sadane man ho si no mode ye ni ye kra enka ye befa ne sa. Ana Mekwa sike no mo se mnante wo kro mu ebre ye ma besia mo fa ndidwa. Ye ma me mo meje kakra ya de nkra to adwumam ya de yempuntuo ya de si hospital obi kanya me ya ye sika 777 billion no e tete sika no 770 trillion 770 trillion obi ye chama Ghana fo ya dodo ya 30 million nipa ba ko bia wanya kra no o 20,000 cedis 200 million obenya watwa sika ye wudi amodi aye sika na ntimi anya akwan papa bia Sikana and see hospital and now kokolegu kohe and crank and get that form at the yes and penny ho. A pen for that form yes and penny ho. Ya to dialysis cost to move many kidney diseases or dialysis hospital from 300 now the mama say illegal fees from them and then you approve na maje sikano they should refund those monies o Mrs. Sikani no bit fiaba 800 Ghana cedis ade masa enne go to our hospitals, even common medical supplies. We'll be having to see during Occupy Julubi House protests. I mean, videos be some of the youth shared on Twitter. I wept. My wife in the forward, mommy. When I saw me say, no, oh boy, and Ghana, as the oxygen machine, Adena air pump is you air vortic to. Have you seen that video?
No.
Bottles vortic to. This basic equipment you need be a hospital. As we are printing 770 trillion. And a share amount for one pass. And a share amount for them. Because of what a bank. Because of what they know the ramifications will be.
No, but the Bank of Ghana said in their statement, said, but for that singular act, our print is got to help the country, you know. Anka, what should they
say? Our print is can on map him. This is an ink, you know, asa. Meaning, this is ink never one printing machine was an obey photocopy. It's so much Sikana. What do I mean by that? Or map him in what sense? They say IMF, AFA, supervisor, ama governor of the Bank of Ghana. An insult to the conscience of this country, to our sovereignty. When he made the Kaya central bank in penny for one, IMF also munni. So we bet me and your mama headmaster Ukitaba of Kenya was Rwanda, Kenya. And no she say at the same zero financing of central government. And the channel
by any time we go under a fund program,
headmaster.
Hold on, let me hear me question.
Okay.
Say headmaster and call Bank of Ghana cross or the finance ministry.
No. Yemfa headmaster and IMF for
finance ministry, not the Bank of Ghana.
That be not the finance ministry assembly. The finance minister Ucheska. Bank of Ghana now Muchesika ma. And as I said here, Omombo number. This is it was at that point there wasn't a Dr. Ns Addison. Because even the IMF here and no matter so yemui. Any mujibie and yama headmaster. Obi, me say omoboa because sikano mu twa no. Say timi bua yanka yanko IMF anko $3 billion. Number 2, and they IMF say mo ntwe sika bi ma yama mo headmaster okita mfia ya omusure. So mo ntwe sika bia. Mo ntwe sika ma aban no. Ghana abo. Aban no gu. Aban no gu ye. Also mo ntwe sika ma omunche say Akufo-Addo otukwan private jet no Boeing 737 not we jai high. Sikano muja itwenintia. Uche sikama no ende be mana charter jet. 1 hour bia. Say plane no ya pakisi o, say nam wiemu o, ye bo ho ka $20,000. Ti sikano 2.4 billion. 2.4 billion. And they tell us say or charter jet no anam wiem because o person otimi biare wo wiem. Not just that too. You Dr. Gideon
say engagement no. They are catch money.
But so these are the facts. Because Dominic Nitti will Minister for Defense and the coach Ram Rashebijum. And I'll say the entire Mampenye Akufo-Addo a charter William Shea Ghana Yabohoka 2.4 billion every 1 hour and say was so near William Shea with then you have another person, Dr. Gideon Bwakuminia Prekope. I was MPP for Omuhu Edwumapa oye Natano no for no omutimi pagya no because branch de bibi wonimu. Dr. Gideon Bwako ono so on your kanokre. Obetena news far. Ono so odi enti Akufo-Addo. No kre o charter jet ne se no we si ayetente no. Otna Ghana presidential jet for 900 EX na ontimi ntire ni na mu. O kan news far. Oso wan pagya Akufo-Addo ntimi ntwi ni mu ntire ni na mu. Jet yi Ghana ejapade presidential jet yi sui. O man panyi Akufo Akura baby obi amechia no yema na yakọ ne hyede. O man panyi Akufo na toma Ghana about $45 million. Obi zoni. O man panyi Akufo ne din ba akọ ehya adaka me de Gentle Jack. Nti o man panyi Akufo-Addo wache Akufo ana. Jet Akufo ahwe ne tenten ho de ato. A wono no timi tirim twi ne namu. Jet John Mahama wiemfo ena na odi tukwan. John Mahama oti akonwa so timi fa economy from Frankfurt to Ghana. Economy one time business class impo. As an national boy there, you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. O mami, o papa di I ceremonial president. There's a what like what's that what chile muka cry nye. We are not even say cut down the waist. For first class impo, and not travel business class. They said the man penya who do in aye. The point I'm making is say central bank jai sikane print no. And now Akufo-Addo go New York or the presidential jet na no see ntimi nko no or the no ko. Na sia wako Germany, na sia wako Paris or the akọ. Enti na obetu bi the akọ. And last year nko wo boy ye ka 100 million cedis. Titisikano 1 trillion on presidential jets.
As a matter of public record, Kufo never used the Falcon.
Well, you should call it on the toy. Or an attention on the toy. Okay, but the John Mama use it.
He did.
No man penyo Kufo on the John Mama Wanewa. Only John Mama Wanewa.
Okay.
Then
yes.
What Chesika one fine young puntu nyuma papa. Omafa. So when Chesika na momwa kasa cathedral. Evil cathedral, not Nyame cathedral. Evil cathedral.
Stay on the issues.
You know, I am putting it on record here. Say Onyame. Oni aso dan we. A almost musino. Oni ni chake bia.
Na some why
you na gidi fo
na Nyame spokesperson.
Ah, na nyina ye gidi fo na meboa. Bible ni entimi ngenkan bi. Nipa Onyame so chiri no na brabo. Onipa obo nipa po. Nipa otwatro. Wo we see as order Yamenyame. As I speak, what boka close to 500 million cedis. Sikankwa ma free consolidated fund mu Ghana yanfo mobrowa levy amoji free ho COVID levy yetua bola tax yetua ye taxes ye VAT ma fa se mo dikusi as order about 500 million cedis and no why 50 billion titisika ni mu. And a masan so abo kato another 500 million and no the yentua okabomwa 1 billion cedis equivalent to 10 trillion and e kaya bon building no foundation kura no ntumi anye obi when ye man $58 million equivalent to about 500 million cedis so on see as all dan menyame no se sika no me use awie be foundation kura ntumi ntu the biggest pit in the whole world and ensure to toy kona ko we niso ade ensure to one kind and then the biggest swimming pool in
the Ochina demonstration would demand specifically
the demand nyina say say Dr. Ernest Addison in na bedi akire ne board no o man twasika ama mampenye Akufo-Addo enka o munye sika ni na funyafumfa bi nkosha o pass
okay
nti Ernest Addison be ma be ye bi wa me ni nyina wadi abro kakra eyeko. Accountability is key. I was out doing Jumato. Now, Chebi governor for Froba. Now, NDC in a wasso. Now, NDC for us, you Chessica man or the Yansa Beton was a Brabia day. And why Bondejuma? That's
demand number one.
Number one. Bank of Ghana board Nankasaso.
Yes.
I will see you Guno. Board of directors, and I will see you Guno.
Okay.
Dr. Ernest Addison so qua the deputies, especially Mahami Buho, or not dear. You see a canon one sem na adebechi e friend Elsie Awaji what did he na unim penyin sem a e fa ne ho e fa ayonko fa da one wan penyin Akufo-Addo unim ayonko fa e da one wan penyin Akufo-Addo
into deputies mienu no any governor mo from adjumanto the board
must be dissolved immediately.
Okay,
and your petition comma omo near the bima ye copy IMF ne World Bank ye copy your petition special prosecutor.
Okay.
Because per section, I believe 64 of the Bank of Ghana Act, no, any breach of the Bank of Ghana Act is a crime.
A crime, okay.
Punishable by a term of imprisonment not exceeding 2 years or a fine.
Or both.
So Sammy Gyamfi me na mako Bank of Ghana. Ako twese sike we coming from hunni. And we want criminal prosecutions to go on. Deterrence is key.
Okay.
Ye we are no na beneficiaries no kenu for yata ne ura Bawumia no afeni aye de yaba wo so obi
and be another demonstration and
obi me say we will be announcing the ebe ochina. You are likely to be seeing 1 month one demo because enyema the things that plague us as a country no enyema ketwa
are there things demonstrations alone can resolve? Not
demonstrations alone. Media engagements, they said press conferences, public fora, demonstrations. What do you say? Because the offices in for and on behalf of the people.
Yes.
It is a new 2 million FM. What do you say?
Yes.
The power resides in the people. And they are only administering this power for and on our behalf. And to say, sorry, say enough is enough. No, Sadian, sad dream, sad chrono, no, ebeko so. Anything you can say, Sikadi, no, aye, on form of human tour. Then, if you about the political actors and so, because at the same time, and a bino, and yes, he can could say no, but a bino so unquanko my pressure. Unquanko Jessica, you try and can manasa. So they all have questions to answer. But Obi, they have a park say, and they say, Bank of Ghana for chess, can ma buy crown or mujana sa Kenya. But on one case, we chess, cannot be 770 trillion ma buying din in your almost went DC Kenya funyafu, Kase chain, Chese ever you won't be that. Bank of Ghana say a fear train me, Sikankwa or Mudi 2 coin. Local and foreign travels, Sika Mudi 2 coin. Just a governors and directors, the 2 coin. Oh, you need to do 97 million cedis. Titi Sikano 970 billion. Sika Mudi 2 coin. Obi, Otiana we mwa show. Sika, almost say.
Asempa FE.
Omonde ye nkita with communication. Obi minim say Bank of Ghana obey you may check how many years muna away?
5 years.
Bank of Ghana for mama solida.
No, I mean call
solid illegal too.
I've not been to the
yeah, our colleagues, no. Because when him solid kwa sika almost some dey tuya solid amount for communications budget. Because Bank of Ghana you tell me some more adverts. Mimi who's a TV be and a newspaper be adverts. No more advertise them cry.
So almost subsidiary gaps.
And
some of the things gaps that's
and no kwa expenditure for 2022. Omo audit report 32 million cedis. This is 320 billion. Then another change. Sikanku almost omo cars. Omo di to fuel. And nobody maintenance just a car we battery assessor yensesano tie no edada yemfa monu shim car tie car cover and then petrol kakra motoe last year kwa 131 million cedis titisikano 1.3 trillion 1.3 trillion and we had to petrol obi Ghana pan yedi na wu sei no mu hwe ni nyina no o ma sanso anya kokodro say omo ozenka company bia oboka otse adwumayefo aketuaso Bank of Ghana NDC wakonyaso ye nyamfaso 4 years in a row and ajomama every year profits under the visionary leadership of Dr. Ishakunum Dr. Wampanom ne jomama ye nyamfaso no jomama say ye nwe o man no ye mfa bi nkosi hospital ene ne dey see the bank hospital e work cantonment Accra COVID-19 by and Honda ministers Ghana for be that is what visionary leadership is about. That is why we be kase NDC MPP pa now we say it is either he's a disappointed MPP member and or Ghana ni or a victim of a troll. John Mahame Nyamfaso Bank of Ghana or the hospital chair Ghana. We Maboka for the first time in the history of Ghana, Bank of Ghana boka 60 billion cedis. Titisikano we cry the best 600 trillion eka oh my bono. And it says Sikara Yakwaje free IMF for times 2. And a bank and also I broke or my bankrupt because of more equity and negative 55 billion negative. And just a bank no ufane Japadie nyina eto e ka wode ho a ne ka ne buru ne Japadie so negative 55 billion. Omo bo ka wie no omanya kukodura sanso ato omo directors ni pay mu ene omo allowances mu omo human ratio omo tum 86 billion for collapsing the bank and incurring unprecedented losses must also increase in salary omo wie ya omo so omo office no omo timu no enye omo fe office na dada enti ne ya omo boka 60 billion ene ya omo twa 77 billion ma baya ye hu de omo di aye ene ya omo good Bank of Ghana no ene ya awochira bank ro nya adwuma nye ye nim power your hospitals apem for that form dialysis in Fidie we are not even able to subsidize them, we are not even able to exempt them from taxes. And then you Ghana for your COVID levy, Bola levy, e-levy, betting levy. Yeah, Breno. Almost as well could see head office for fro. Almost seen if Abronsai you know about Twin Towers.
But they explain say any project starting
Twin Towers. No more who's almost Twin Towers now. Omobeye underground car park. Na car park ne nko betimi afa car 7,000. Obi ti asem we. Obi this country we are not angry enough. Enkofo bi bievu look. There emre bi ma coup d'etat sisi Ghana no. a quarter of the AC. No, me statement, no, statement, no. Me ko baby. Only say a champion, the man or two Fred Akufo in that palace school in 1972, I believe. One of the reasons they say Bank of Ghana Sika, Emma Fred Akufo abai. But Sika, na you can want some hundred in no way being divided by 100. You can want 70. I don't know what to do on my wusa. We don't want coup d'etats in Ghana. Ghana, dear, Kebi Abba to stay. But if the democracy does not deliver the goods, it does not deliver and meet the needs of the people, people will lose confidence. And I want to Ghana echo. And that is why I was opposition sorry. And that is why I am sorry. Because I cannot say, Nasi Kedia no to say, Obi, Nipa Bebele already they are giving up on this country. And we are telling them, don't lose hope. Don't give up on Ghana. Yes, exercise here democratic right rather than the coup, no?
Not to lose hope in a vacuum. And the criticism against the opposition is when they say most of the things we've heard you say, criticizing the status quo, telling us what is wrong with the current administration, telling us the price of goods on the markets here, what the opposition intends to do about them, and the concrete promise say and a more bottle na 1 cedi about 5 cedis monto abama ye ba ye ne beba 2 cedis and ye beba 1 cedi 50 pesos. We are not hearing those.
Obi obeka say on tibia no na bia on T news and I on T ekusi say because ya ka but me starting free topic here so Bank of Ghana secretary bebrebe. We have the alternative. It's clear.
Which is?
We amended the law and reduced the limit from 10% to 5%. Ultimately, Sika Moro 5% of Sika Ghana Nyaye Afia Echem.
Asempa FM.
And which improno 2016. Jomama Bugana, Aquine Biblibo, interchange Biblibo, na election year. Those were the days are not teacher trainees, necessary trainees or more allowances. Now Jomama bet me as a Bank of Ghana, Munchesika, Mamma Infantry allowance. But Bank Jomama Bugana 2016 1 cedi or 1 peso from the central bank. Yam printe 1 cedi amano. Zero financing from the Bank of Ghana. That is our record. That is our alternative. Jomama onona voters say my allowances and yes I am to abama. Jomama say well Ghana first. The mayor no me into allowance no. Say ne be ya mema loan e sika krona. Ji loan no to say the university for nyina timije no. Because they say you upgrading mo. Now G loan na ubetimi di ahwe ho. Se na be ya nipa allowance nti e kwan da schools musu yentimi mfa wo mo because of quota system no. Ye be you quota system na free ho so that ye betimi afa mo nuanu bebre no mo so etimi aba school. A school for say yenti ase ye pa alawa. Your mama so de beto abeti abia mo ntunti ame enchirimenti. Yet only said that year na your mama no betimi ama Bank of Ghana the sika 5% of the total revenue of the previous year wanye. 1 cedi cry. Yet, even that 2016, Jomama Koje in the last Eurobond 500 million cedis. Jomama de Koto Futu, we have a sinking fund. We what is a sinking fund?
Sure.
Say, President Akufo-Addo Bosia be 2007 Eurobond 700 million euros. Now, and check a member so was on my gun to Yasa Bessiano. It is Mahama say me Jack Sika to ho. Now, Mena Suma Kofo Bessiano. Yenye Sika to ya. Power drink Ghana. Then somebody say NDC ni MPP and a Joma am a new alternative. Adia ba kwa higher nepa waste sikadie basa. Joma hama breso one charter private jets te say the Akufo-Addo here neda. Ni alternative no. Sa unnecessary luxurious travels. Akufo-Addo here like an Arabian king or a Russian oligarch no. Joma hama breso nsi. Jomama Breso ministers are Akufo-Addo the first time of 125 NC or see he will run this country with just about 60 ministers. Jomama Breso or say this time around it will say abanko yetua S Gracia onokra wenyebi but say na nyemesi kono politicians are not being fair to labor the working class and unti S Gracia wo ba obetwam any alternative ni bia anameboa Jomama say
no ministers
yes Jomama say maburu ye adwuma ade ba ko ye betumi aye ama ndi adwuma aba ne se sa 8 hours ne di adwuma wo Ghana na mwaye ukọ adwuma nupa nwotwe no apo anwumre nonum oba wo de 24-hour economy ba they said you call brochire and madwina ye adwuma no ye be ye adwuma 24 hours ye be fa nipa bebede ne de aguru economy no to mama no and if you say you are not yen can't ye then it is either you are suffering from selective amnesia and I won't say any problem as we inch closer to 2024 ye bo ye alternatives so ye campaign messages so dewro no bete jo mama say enisi ye bo besia na ye spending on chop consumption it now buying be injected 10 billion Ghana cedis, $10 billion into Impuntunyuma under a program I found a big push. Obi
yeah, those were manifesto commitments for 2020.
Some of them he has even repeated. Some dialysis machines once a me. And they were setting the alternative clearly. And yes, all born with chikeke. Also, some feeding now hospitals and to the dialysis. No boy saying. I buy number one, you need taxes in your influence, you exempt. Import duty and influence, where my born I have perform. So hospitals in Yana for fees no and costro. Number 3, Krania Shop was able to create a center, a very chronic diseases, like kidney diseases, like cancer. Nina Yakan once, President Mama Nancy Okaza dialysis in once. So we are not just criticizing. The criticism is very important because say Yankasentia de Kosona. Send it na omuga koso aye nesa.
Okay, let me
yes also the alternative here.
Very well. Let me read some few messages.
Just 30 seconds. Obi catch us say head office no start ya cha omoboa. Head office project na start the award contract no mid 2020. The project started around February 2021. That was at the time one COVID ne jina so den dia ekumiye. Aye economy no kra no na ye nim say economy we kra no after 1 year kra no we will still have an economy. And a Bank of Ghana for Wankasa after giving government 10 billion cedis through bonds. Omoka say COVID nature omo want to be my bicycle beam.
Yeah, so before you award contract, you have to secure land. The process of securing land takes time. And they are started 2 months.
What was I say? What only says a crowd was I say. Now, what was I say? I never for Susidai. What was I say? I was the one who said, Brabon, what word do baby? This is not the time. Now there's a project in the Kwama Saturday. You see, at least, baby, you way, you pay hospital beds. Baby, I always say, you pay dialysis machines free. A man for me, I call dialysis free. It's a project and you delay 2-3 years. Na
project variation it might be more expensive.
La clinic no mo gugu yes o musi no enye 5 years ni o matimi asi enti hospital dey etimi delay but head office me say anopa anadwokro mu sidan no asidan na manipa mienu afiri wu o mo dey see essential nipa tiato o onyame abufu shiw no aso mo no mu si babel abro say yakọ heaven bi onyame abufu shiw o mu sidan no anadwo. Bank of Ghana for
as we sit, we cannot independently
go to Rage Hospital. Go to Rage Hospital today and ask them, say, and see what say 2 people are laborers, innocent young people. Obama pressure sa munsin in them na fellow possible so Sammy Gyamfi mu say yesi dan ya asamba banti munsin in anadwo kwa no munsin dan and assign obronsam team mienu ba ko pra ba ko wu. Go and check on Rage Hospital. Go and check. So that project, they must drop that project. It is not a priority now. Governor Nekwajia to me, it is not a priority. Now, Obi, Sikaka Kana Kano, Yemfa boys, the girls in the binye, and we are not saying this because we are in opposition. Masa, I am telling you, and this is the work on Yasuo. Now, Central Bank print Sika against the Bank of Ghana Act. I will talk the same way I am talking. I am telling you, mark today's date on the ground. I want to find a receipt guy, no, on recorded video in front of me, receipt, no. Say NDC Beba Kunyaso. Now, amount for more than 97 million cedis in the 2 Kwai Bank of Ghana. In the middle of these hardships. And then, yet, we must learn to condemn evil.
Okay.
And yes, sir. Akronfo no be boy akrono sa na Syria kola bia you be declared in anything. Syria tax be data crowd the better say anything no defend it. Also sika dey dia amount.
Dr. Richmond Kwame Frimpong said I don't know if you know him, but say main correct on the demand push. No, say demand pool rather.
Sorry, demand pool. There's cost push inflation
and demand pool.
Yeah, that's correct.
I say the inflation at the moment is cost push and not demand pool. But the percentage of cost push is more than the demand pool side. Dr. Richmond Kwame Frimpong.
Well,
thank you.
He may be the expert, but whichever way it is, whether it is cost push,
there is inflation,
or demand pool, we are saying there is inflation. Ira hyper levels like it happened last year, 54%. But thank you. I mean, I'm grateful to him.
Yeah. Into Doc, thank you so much. You could see saying higher Sempa 94.7 FM. Let me go through a few of the messages now. Yen Rapi Abnienshan Twasu Musa Batwa Ewo Asawase somewhere in Kumasi, and he says, Obi, I don't think there is contention on what Sammy Gyamfi is saying. John Mahama has used some of the money he borrowed to turn seawater into potable drinking water for the people of Nungwa. NPP should also tell us what the Akufo-Addo government is doing with their unprecedented monies they've borrowed. This is the debate Ghanaians want to hear. In Musa Abatwa or Asawase Yedase. This one says that, Obi, please, what's new about what Sammy is saying and what he has been saying since 2017? The NDC is being repetitive and they are making their communication style so irritating.
He knows nothing about communication.
Okay.
Because the law of repetition is the law of deep and lasting impression.
Deep and lasting.
Now, chrono, the same chrono na because we say that is the issue. That is the issue.
Godi Watema and Godi says, Obi, your platform is a big platform, so I was expecting Sammy to at least commiserate with the NDC fraternity on the demise of a great stalwart like E.T. Mensah before he talks about the demonstration. Oh, now we're so there. I say, Obi, I've always been reiterating that the NDC should not always think about demonstrations as the panacea to our problems. It's becoming much ado about nothing. They should strengthen their effort in echoing the solutions to the current economic challenges that we are facing and stop the demonstrations. Godi Owatema. Godi, it's a constitutional writer or more exercise. Where's Obi? Ask Sammy how many ordinary Ghanaians can afford just a common hospital card at the Bank of Ghana Hospital. Okay, that's your worry as well. It is Sammy who will be here no a day amount. Dagin Amsterdam, and Dagin says, hi Obi, don't you find it very disgusting to hear from the NDC always saying during John Mahama's administration things were better than today? They must tell us, when did the price of goods and the dollar rate to the cedi ever drop as compared to the previous years? The world is on its knees after the COVID pandemic and the ongoing Russian-Ukraine war. So the true fact is that if the NDC and John Mahama are in power today, things would have been sold thrice as high as today. They must stop itching our ears because their way of campaigning to be in
read
power.
That message again. I'll say.
They're making.
I'll say. Then okay, Kalisano. Inflation and the NDC mills when John Mahama was the chairman of the economic management team. Inflation, but that's single digit for 33 months. That's close to 3 years. Your challenges be exogenous shocks. Inflation cost to say international oil market prices cost na petrol bo cost need the account. But inflation cost 2016 could do by 18%. It's about 15.4% or 15.2%. So when we're leaving office, almost incompetent. Ahochire wo Ghana dodo na Ghana for bre na ya mobo dodo yet sika so come there no. The rate of inflation was 15%. It is another 15% inflation, no. I'm Ghana for a mobile dodoa. And you're now inflation, I could do 54% and then I'm 43%. And you're there.
Amsterdam in Holland. And Obi, good afternoon. Please come to the Tema Port, GPHA refer terminal and see if it's full of dust. Yeah, the FDA is there not doing anything about it.
Obi, port won't put the serious. They say duty.
Tema Port.
say utie car be duty a car enka ne no ubetua duty e be at 10,000 obi so mutua be 35,000 it's a duty na bitimi 80-90% the price of the car omu it's serious me bana miti ware wo say mo say dey na cause of Flagstaff house omu we car so e julobi house ampa o say Oliver Baka mo ka say julobi house am for so monti ase and na o man yin kwamna sante any Philip possible to breaking news o mo dia banana say cars impo aban cars. He said you can't even account for the cars na ira na o man Ghana cars are chief of staff na hweso ye wo presidential staff so mo hweso ye mo allowance ku ha ye mo musika ku ha jisika mo hwe ye Japan ye so no masate phone but I say I will want to know the details because we may need a few placards on that for tomorrow and that is why Philip was able to must represent tomorrow.
Start here for him.
Yes, start here free Kwame Nkrumah Circle and also transport 6 a.m. sharp. In fact the flyer says 8 a.m. but brand up because of traffic brand 10 you free wa you be father braka
okay
you go straight you drew NDC headquarters anymore
okay
you be branch here far left
okay
you far left you be go straight near kwa far Rage Hospital anymore near kwa see Rage roundabout you do Rage roundabout now you turn it right near the near National Theatre. Okay. You go straight, you do traffic light near far left, near far National Theatre anymore.
Yeah.
For ministries anymore. Straight to High Court Complex.
Okay.
You do High Court Complex traffic light now. Now you far right on the Tamils High Street to the Supreme Court.
To BOG.
You go straight
Court to BOG.
You do Supreme Court Twaswako Bank of Ghana. Near presenting a petition. And we are occupying
petition.
Ernest Addison, the governor of the if he has any dignity left, he will meet us, give the good people of this country the respect, give the minority leader and the members of parliament or more oversight over him the respect.
Now,
come and take the petition.
And I say,
petition demanded his resignation.
Why don't you give it to the appointing authority?
Now, say the appointing authority cannot sack him. And appointing authority or money money trace can and almost no trace can big thief better supervisor small thief and they for Addison.
Okay,
after that we'll be occupying the finance ministry.
The finance ministry.
Oh, what do you may breaking maybe why you occupy mamena on also say Oma amount for register ukrumwa wama amount for boka ko salai or district offices or makwa huchiremuno we will occupy there.
How?
We will occupy there.
But the registration it's been done, it will be done today and they claim say at least target and issue money they've met the target.
They had a target of 1.3
they
million.
Are okay with how much
they had a target of 1.3 million. And then what the target in about from to around 500-800,000 a day. Masa Ubi, we need pa or my boka afaka about district offices of the EC. Be delights from you say if you didn't say, you say network in Yejuma, you say light off, or more call you when you maybe into went me and register. They are in the hundreds and thousands in the region.
EC
and those people
EC the premises hold here.
Oh, another free Pluto so and free mass. They are human beings like us. They are there serving us. So we want social justice.
Bank of Ghana, Finance Ministry, Electoral Commission.
The fourth one, the main country.
Fourth one, Jubilee House.
Oh, no main country. Jubilee House. Jubilee House is there. What Democracy Hub has done is good.
It's okay. In the moon called Jubilee House.
Not now. And cut the first 4 or 5 demonstrations. You know.
National Cathedral Rana.
Oh, Jan to was and Yeho Crapesi. Cathedral, they occupy 1 hour. And a contract and was a son in Yamagan.
And the fourth one,
$58 million. Navy or say Sikana.
Okay, the fourth one here, Parliament, the Parliament of Ghana.
Parliament. Now, Parliament take problems.
And the fourth
one, 3 arms. What about Coon?
And see, no, but at the right time, to the Supreme Court complex.
Oh, dear, at the right
time. No, but you can't go.
Let's not jump.
No, but you know you cannot go.
Right now, no. We are suffering from high inflation. High inflation, has come about because of Sika Bank of Ghana for Chamana Broso. Bebre, Ediama Bina, Amobedi in Yafunyafu. Enti, Brena Yabreno, Bank of Ghana for Namaya Bre. Enti, Yanu will become. That's the starting point.
Very well.
Yeah. any Bawumia And Bog the other places. So
Sammy, my say na yemfa enti we wish you well. And Nyame adoma ochena we'll be there to cover the demonstration. Why?
We'll
be there to cover the demonstration.
Oh, but about the Shetuntum.
Oh yes, I may cover the in my
dear Makola na Oko school. Where be some man? The situation move. Enye easy obi. Enye easy. Obi tie me ne. Eduano krebin to niem. It is a serious matter. But enye omu nyina na wo platform obi timi dia betina ikosi sen ayede akasa. Enye omu nyina na bit. So through demonstrations like this, the masses get the opportunity
to
vent their frustrations.
The judiciary, especially Supreme Court complex, some more occupy homes.
You do the residents will be put out.
No, but that's
Supreme Court and the Chief Justice hearing dates.
Mamina say, Sammy Gyamfi, and after this short break,